What's up, guys? It's your boy, Keep It Real MMA. It's 3 in the morning. I know this is really late, even on my time. This is really late. But I'm gonna brush through the card from the prelims up to the main card. Oliveira vs Makhachev, UFC 280. It had to be done at some point. I would have done it earlier, but like I said, it was stuff to do with work. I changed my times from nights to days, so it was kind of awkward for me to sort everything out. But at the end of the day, I'm here to do it now. And yeah, it's, I mean, there's only 12 fights on this card because a lot of fights have fallen out of the card. So yeah, let's just start with the first fight of the prelims. Karol Rosa versus Lina Landsberg. Karol Rosa is a -330 favourite. Lina Landsberg is a +275 underdog. I am going to go with Karol Rosa. There's a reason why she's a big favourite. She's just a much better fighter than Lina Landsberg, in my opinion. Lina Landsberg has a win over Macy Chiasson, which is a decent win, even though she lost to, you know, Irene Aldana. It's a very interesting win on her record, because thing is, right, like, obviously, what's her record? She's, yeah, she's 10-6. Karol Rosa's 15-4. Lina Landsberg's 2 inches taller with 2 inches of reach disadvantage, actually, but longer leg reach. Interesting. But Lina Landsberg, she's pushing 40, or I think she is 40. And the thing is, right, Karol Rosa's a lot more technical on the feet. I think the grappling wise, I think she's better too. I just think that she's all around better than Lina Landsberg, and I feel like this is what's going to get her the victory. I think it's going to be a 30-27 decision. I think that she's just much better than Lina Landsberg at this point in Landsberg's career. And even if Landsberg is on her skill level, she's a lot older. Karol Rosa got more youth on her side, and I believe that she's going to be able to use that to her advantage. And I just think it's a straightforward pick. I think it's a lock of the card, to be honest with you. I think Karol Rosa gets it done by 30-27 decision. I think it's quite dominant. And yeah, that's how I see it going. Oh, okay. Next fight on the card, Muhammad Makhachev versus Malcolm Gordon. Muhammad Makhachev is a -1,150 favourite. Fucking hell. Malcolm Gordon's a +750 underdog. I'm going with Muhammad Makhachev. This is kind of like another lock of the card because of the odds too, you know what I mean? But it is a lock of the card anyway. There's quite a bit of lock of the cards. Yeah, Muhammad Makhachev is just much better than Malcolm Gordon. Muhammad Makhachev will scare Gordon into biting on the takedown feints and will be scared of the takedown. And I feel like Muhammad Makhachev is going to get a first round KO. I think that he's going to take down Malcolm a lot in this fight. I think Malcolm will work his way back up. I think Malcolm's a pretty good fighter, man. I used to think he was so shit, but then, like, he picked up some decent wins and stuff. And things like, look, I love a look of his record now. He's picked up some. Why is caps lock on? I fucking never put caps lock on. What the fuck's been on the PC? Anyway, yeah, I used to think, like, really badly of Malcolm Gordon, but I mean, the win over Dennis Bonda is not too bad. Francisco Figueiredo's decent too. I know he lost to Suma Durji and Amir Albazi, but, you know, he's picked up some decent wins, man. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, I mean, he's 14-5. He's not bad, you know what I mean? But I just think Muhammad Makhachev is better everywhere, and I just feel like his wrestling is going to make Malcolm Gordon strike him worse, and I feel like he's going to just do the typical old school feint for, you know, pretend he's going to go feint in for the double leg. Malcolm Gordon's going to bite down, and Makhachev's going to go over the top with an overhand and just drop him, put him out, you know, TKO and finish him off with some hammer fists, you know, some elbows, and then ref will pull him off. So I got Muhammad Makhachev by first round TKO. Next fight on the card, Armen Petrosyan versus AJ Dobson. Armen Petrosyan's a -205 favourite. AJ Dobson's a +175 underdog. Dangerous fight for Armen Petrosyan, but I'm still going to go with him. AJ Dobson has a lot of power. He's not as good as what everybody says he is, though. But Armen Petrosyan, man, he has decent wins. He's fought better competition. He's fought better competition than AJ Dobson, in my opinion. I just feel like Armen Petrosyan's going to scrape this fight. I don't think there's anything special between the both of them, but I think Armen Petrosyan's the better fighter, in my opinion. I think he'll win this by 30-27. I think it's just going to be a typical performance of him. I just think that he's the better fighter. That's what I believe, you know. And I feel like this, you know, is striking skills mixed up with the threat of grappling and grappling itself. I think that's gonna get him this decision win, in my opinion. Next fight up the card, Bakar Nurmagomedov versus Gadzi Omar Gadziev. Abubakar Nurmagomedov is a -165 favorite. Gadzi Omar Gadziev is a +140 underdog. I don't know why the fuck Gadzi is an underdog. I'm going because he's the underdog too. I'm gonna go with Gadzi Omar Gadziev. He's 13-1, good record. Abu has very strange record. I think that he's past his prime. I feel like he came into the UFC too late, and I think Gadzi has a lot of openings on the feet. And I feel like Abu has very questionable things on his record, and I just feel like that Gadzi is going to be able to take advantage of the striking, and also the fact is I think he can keep it on the feet too. I don't see Abu doing much, to be honest with you, in this fight. I feel like Gadzi has the defensive grappling necessary to keep her on the feet, but I also think he has the grappling to take down Abu too. I think it's a decent fight, but I just think Abu came into the UFC too late. I think he's a little bit past his prime in a way. I have no idea why he's the favourite, but, you know, it is what it is, right? But, yeah, he has a chance to win, though. I feel like he can win, but I just feel like Gadzi got this done. So I'm going to go with that. Gadzi Omar Gadziev by second round submission. I think that he's going to stuff all the takedowns, get him down, get him in an arm triangle and submit him. So, yeah. Next fight on the card, Volkan Ozdemir versus Nikita Krylov. Volkan Ozdemir is a +150 underdog. Nikita Krylov is a -175 underdog. -175 favorite, fuck's sake. I'm going to go with Nikita Krylov by 30-27 decision. I know Volkan Ozdemir beat Paul Craig, but he looked absolutely terrible in that fight. They both did. And I know Nikita Krylov lost to Paul Craig, but the difference is Nikita Krylov was winning that fight. Clearly, he almost knocked out Paul Craig a lot of times. Paul Craig is chinny as fuck, but for some reason he decided to grow a chin in the middle of that fight. And that's why he managed to... Fuck, yeah. Oh, sorry, guys. He managed to get caught in the triangle. You know, he managed to slip up the triangle against Nikita Krylov. I just think Nikita Krylov wins that fight 8-9 times out of 10 against Paul Craig. And Volkan Ozdemir looked so slow. He still didn't look very confident at all in that fight. He looked like he was scared to strike. He looked like everything, like a man that clearly is struggling, right? I think Nikita Krylov coming off a big win over Alexander Gustafsson, which is not a big feat anymore. I mean, everybody's beating the cunt, but I think Nikita Krylov is going to have a lot of confidence going into it, especially in his hands. And I feel like the threat of the grappling and the threat of just being an all-round fighter is going to scare Ozdemir into fighting the way he did against Craig. And I just think that Nikita Krylov is going to win this by 30-27 decision. I think it's going to be quite an easy fight for him. But yeah, I mean, you know, Volkan Ozdemir's surprised me before, but he struggles with fighters who are very well-rounded. And Nikita Krylov's one of them. Nikita Krylov's like 30 or 31. And he's got like, what, 37 fights in his career? Yeah, he's 28-9. Unbelievable. Yeah, great fighter. I think he's extremely talented. And I just think that he will beat Volkan Ozdemir by decision 30-27. Next fight on the card, Magomed Muradov versus Kai Baralo. Muradov is a +175 underdog. Kai Baralo is a -205 favorite. I keep saying underdog. No, it's a very good fight. I think Kai Baralo is better. Not better. I think I'm gonna pick him by second round TKO. He's a very wild guy in a way. Sometimes he's not the most technical guy in the world, but I think he's good enough to beat Makhachev, in my opinion. I think Makhachev's pretty good. But these are middleweights we're talking about here, so you don't have to be as technical as most divisions. I just feel like Baralo's going to be able to carry his power on to the second round and catch Magomed slipping, because Magomed leaves a lot of openings for a lot of strikes, and I feel like he won't be able to mix in the grappling with him. I just feel like Kai Baralo's got this in the bag, in my opinion. It is a very close fight on like on paper kind of, but I just think that Kai Bralo's gonna win this pretty handedly. Anyway, there's not much to say about that fight. It's like, well, you got one guy who's technical and kind of all-rounded, and then you got a guy that fucking is kind of well-rounded, but he's very wild. He has a better chance of getting a finish, and I feel like he has a better chance of winning by decision too. But I'm gonna say second round TKO. Next fight on the card: Bilal, remember the decision, Muhammad versus Sean Brady. Bilal Muhammad is a +115 underdog. Sean Brady's a -135 favorite. I'm gonna shock a lot of you, but I'm actually gonna go for Sean Brady. Because even though Bilal's the underdog, a lot of people are picking Bilal. I am actually gonna pick Sean Brady. Mainly because this is a 3-rounder, and the thing with Bilal is not. He's really the hammer in fights. He's never really the hammer. The only time he's the hammer is when he's fighting people who struggle against grapplers. That's the only time he's the hammer. And you know the two prominent times he was the hammer. It was against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and against his last opponent, Vicente Luque. Now, I don't know why these baby yawn, don't I? Even though I love making this content for you guys, it's just for some reason, I think it's because it's late. It's, you know, it's almost 3:15 in the morning, but yeah. But Bilal Muhammad doesn't lead against grapplers, man. Like, you look at Damian Maia, he's running away the entire time, landing strikes here and there to get him the decision. Against Sean Brady, he's going to have to do the same because Sean Brady's so fucking strong, bro. Strong as fuck. And he's built like a shit brick house. And the thing is, right, it's like Bilal struggles not being the leader in a way, and that's how he got knocked out against Vicente Luque in their first fight, because he was fed up again led, and then he tried to go in without grappling, got caught with a hook. So it's he also struggled against Leon Edwards because Leon Edwards forced him on the back foot, and Leon Edwards forced him to be the nail, and that's how he struggled up until, you know, the eye poke. But I think that Bilal has a good chance, but I think Sean Brady, because this is a 3-rounder, I feel like he doesn't have to worry about cardio. I think he'll bank the first 2 rounds and lose the third, so I got Sean Brady by 29-28 decision. I feel like Sean Brady is all around as a good striker, and I actually believe he'll catch Bilal slipping a couple of times, because Bilal would be scared of the grappling in a way, because Bilal doesn't really want to engage with it, and because Bilal doesn't have the power to put Brady out, I feel like Brady's going to be able to take every bit of advantage and run through the fire against him. So yeah, I got Sean Brady by 29-28 decision. Next fight on the card, Caitlin Chuchagan versus Manon Fiorot. Caitlin Chuchagan's a +180 underdog. Manon Fiorot is a -210 favorite. I was leaning towards Caitlin Chuchagan, but I took a look at more of their fights, and I just think that Manon Fiorot is going to take this by 29-28. Caitlin Chuchagan's good. She's really good. She's a good fighter. There's no denying it. She's a good fighter, you know what I mean? She's got really good height for the division, you know what I mean? She's 5'9", same height as me, you know what I mean? Nowhere near my reach though. Nowhere near my reach. She got a 68-inch reach. Mine is like 77. No joke. I have like Kevin Lee reach, I do. Yeah, she has a 2 inches of height over Manon Fiorot, and she has a 3 inches of reach, 3 inches of reach, and 4 inches of leg reach. Now, the reason I think Manon Fiorot, I'm leaning towards her now, is because I took, just a quick, as a quick reminder, I look at all their fights, and Manon Fiorot is just, she won't give Caitlin Chuchagan a chance to do what she usually does. And what does she usually do? She usually just does a little bit more than her opponent every single time. She just does a little bit more. Gradually does a little bit more every single time. And I just feel like Manon Fiorot's not going to give her the time to breathe, to think about doing that. Manon Fiorot's like a little powerhouse in a way. And I feel like she's just going to do what Jessica Andrade did to Caitlin Chuchagan. I feel like she's just going to get in on the inside. And I just feel like she's just going to pound the fuck out of her. She's just going to hound her and just not let her breathe. Not let her take a step forward. Just basically what, that's what Thing was doing. And Caitlin Chuchagan was so uncomfortable. She kept grappling up and clinching up with, Jessica Andrade. And Jessica Andrade just kept ripping her to the body, kneeing her. And eventually she hurt Caitlin to the body, and that's how she finished her. I feel like Manafjora will hurt Caitlin to the body, but I don't think she has the necessary amount of power like Jessica Andrade to keep her down. But I feel like Manafjora is going to follow the blueprint on how to beat Caitlin Chukagian if you're the shorter fighter, which you are going to be in the division. But yeah, I think Manafjora's got this in the bag. I think this is a 29-28 decision where she almost, you know, finishes Caitlin a couple of times. But yeah. Next fight on the card, Beneil Dariush versus Mateusz Gamrot. Beneil Dariush is a +160 underdog. Mateusz Gamrot is a -190. I'm going to go with Gamrot by 30-28. No, 30-27, I'm sorry. This is a good fight. I like Beneil. But Gamrot's been active. I don't think he beat Arman Tsarukyan. I think that was a bit of a robbery there, but it was a good fight nevertheless. Very good fight. Mateusz Gamrot has great grappling skills, great defensive grappling skills, so I don't see Beneil taking him down. And Mateusz has so many more weapons on the feet in terms of like kicks, in terms of different types of combination, looping combinations, and I just feel like Beneil has more experience in that way. But the only time, like if this was a 5-rounder, I'd give the edge to Beneil. But because it's a 3-rounder, Mateusz doesn't have to worry about his cardio, because in 5-round fights, right, after the 3rd round, he starts to really gas. And the thing is, he was gassing in the 3rd round against Diego Ferreira. Like, I don't think it was the 3rd round, whatever it was, he was gassing. And he was lucky that Ferreira broke his rib, because if he didn't, bro, I think he would have eventually lost that fight, because he was winning. But the thing is, he was starting to gas heavy, man, and Ferreira was okay. It's just obviously then he broke his rib. But if Beneil wasn't coming off of that broken leg and he wasn't inactive as fuck because of it, I feel like I might give Beneil more of a chance to be able to gas Gamrot out and get a 3rd round TKO, because he also has a lot of power himself. But I'm going to go Mateusz Gamrot, the activity, and I think he'll win the first 2 rounds and lose this 3rd. But yeah, I think because of the activity, because of the fact that he has a lot more weapons on the feet, and his cardio may be a lot worse, but I feel like he's got good enough grappling skills to keep it on the feet. And I feel like he's just going to outpoint Beneil for the first 2 rounds, like very heavily, or maybe even dominate the first rounds, but then lose the 3rd round, but avoid a 10-8. So he'll survive to a 29-28 decision, in my opinion. Next fight on the card, Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley. Petr Yan's a -265 favourite. Sean O'Malley's +225 underdog. I broke this down on my channel, one of my earlier videos. Please check it out. Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley breakdown, detailed prediction. So I'm not going to go too into detail. I am picking Petr Yan by 3rd round TKO. I think he's going to drop Sean O'Malley with a body shot. I think he's going to drop Sean O'Malley in the first, not in the first round. I think he's going to drop him first in the 3rd. And then when Sean O'Malley's recovering, I think he's eventually going to get in on the body shots. I think that if this was a 5-rounder, I'd be even more confident picking Yan. But I feel like Sean O'Malley's going to win the first 2 rounds. That's what I predicted. And I feel like Sean O'Malley's going to, you know, not going to be able to handle the pressure of Yan in the 3rd, and the leg kicks and the damaging shots. And I think that Sean O'Malley has a durability issue, in my opinion. That's what I believe. I believe he has a durability issue. And I feel like Petr Yan's going to exploit that. And yeah, so I think I do want Sean O'Malley to win. I will be rooting for Sean O'Malley, but I think that Petr Yan gets this done by 3rd round TKO. But yeah, if you want to check out that video, please wind it up. Yeah, it's somewhere in my videos. It's the first one I broke down at 3, because I've broken all 3 down, the last 3 fights. And, you know, I get on to the next one. But yeah, I got Petr Yan by 3rd round TKO. The 3 rounds did make me tempted to go for O'Malley though, but I just don't see him getting it done, in my opinion. But anyway, sorry, yeah. Next fight on the card, Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw. Aljamain Sterling's a -175 favourite. TJ Dillashaw's a +150 underdog. I'm going to go with Aljamain Sterling. Matchup-wise, this is a terrible matchup for Aljamain Sterling. It's a nightmare matchup, but TJ Dillashaw is out of his prime. He's 36 years of age. Like I said, I broke this down on my channel too, more in detail. TJ Dillashaw is a lot slower than what he used to be, because age has caught up to him. Like, don't forget, 36 years old is extremely old for the bantamweight division. And I just feel like he's going to struggle against Aljamain's quickness. And I feel like Aljamain's going to get him down one time, let him up, get him down again in the second round. And I'm predicting the second round rear naked choke. I think Aljamain's going to get his back, do the backpack, and because TJ Dillashaw gets up very arrogantly, he gets up very loosely, he just likes to stand up, and when he stands up, he gets caught in those submissions attempts. So yeah, I got Aljamain Sterling by second round rear naked choke. Is a tough matchup for him, but I feel like the fact that Dillashaw's way out of his prime and a lot slower, I feel like Aljamain's going to get this done handedly, in my opinion. Maybe even lose the first, but like make it very close. Next fight on the card, the main event, Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. Charles Oliveira's a plus 160 underdog. Islam Makhachev's a minus 190 favorite. I'm going to go with Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Like I said, this is literally my last video. I broke this down. Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev, detailed and broken down. I think Charles Oliveira got this in the bag, bro. I feel like on paper it's a very competitive fight. But Islam doesn't deserve this title shot at all. But I'm glad that Charles gave it to him in his hometown just to beat him, I think. So, I am very confident in Charles Oliveira. I think that the striking is going to be too much for Islam. I think he's going to back up Islam very smartly. He's not going to overextend. He's going to back him down, and I feel like Islam's going to get overconfident trying to shoot him for takedowns. And I believe that, like, what's going to happen is I got Charles Oliveira by TKO. I think that Charles Oliveira is going to, like, not give Islam a chance to really take him down. I think Islam is going to panic takedowns after he gets caught with a left hook. And I feel like when Islam goes down, I feel like instead of, he's going to try submissions Oliveira, but Islam's going to try and, like, you know, kind of fight them, and then Oliveira's just going to keep smashing him with ground and pound shots until the ref pulls him off. That's how I believe. That's what I believe is going to happen, because I just think that Charles is just too dangerous for Islam. I believe he's way too dangerous. Like, he has way too many options. Islam is nowhere near as good as striking, and I think because Charles Oliveira won't give a fuck about the takedown, I don't think that that's going to make his striking worse. I just feel like Islam plays too much into Oliveira's game by being very technical and not very strength-oriented, which suits Charles Oliveira, and I believe Charles Oliveira will be able to pace himself if he needs to be. I can't remember which round I predicted it happening in for it, but I'm going to go with second round TKO for Charles Oliveira. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, bet safely, though. Thank you, guys, for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell, too, if you need to, so you can get notified. I'm very active on YouTube, as you can see by my posts. Run up all my videos, especially the detailed ones, because they'll do more justice for this card prediction. You know, Charles Oliveira, Islam, Aljamain, TJ, Piotr, Sean. So, you know, so yeah, please like those videos up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you guys in this is MMA. This is Keep It Real MMA. See you guys in the next video. Peace.